I have a lot here to show you, so we need to go ahead and get right into it. So if you guys want to see my first impressions on a lot of this new makeup, then just keep watching. We're gonna go ahead and get started with eyes first. I do have some new brushes by Colourpop. I actually bought this bundle along with the Stone Cold Fox palette. So I will be using these today. I've heard that these are really good brushes, so I'm really excited to use them. It came in this really beautiful, kind of like leather-like case. And here are the brushes. I love that the bristles are like pink and then they kind of ombre into white. So I really do love the look of these. So yeah, I'm really excited to use these today. And of course, for my eyes, we're gonna go in with the Colourpop Stone Cold Fox palette. The shade names are actually on the back of the cardboard packaging. So this is the palette itself. Again, the names are on the back of the packaging. Let me just go ahead and show you these shades. They're super gorgeous shades. There are some shades in here that look similar to the taupe palette that I just purchased. But yeah, these are really beautiful, neutral, kind of cool tone shades. So yeah, we're gonna use that today. I am gonna go in with the e.l.f. Ride or Die Lip Balm because my lips are really chapped right now. So for eye primer, I'm gonna go into the NYX eye primer. This is in the shade Skin Tone. I have showed you guys this eye primer on my channel. It's one of my favorites from the drugstore, and it's super creamy, and I love that it has a darker tone to it. It lays a really nice canvas down for the shadow. I am going to use the Colourpop F33 brush to actually set that primer. I'm just setting it with a powder. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the eyes. I'll just go ahead and list right here what shade I'm using. I just feel like it's easier to do that. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I want to do something a little bit more like natural, but add a little flair to it. I'm gonna go into Quarry Days, and I'm just using this E22 brush that's in the collection, and I'm gonna go above the crease, kind of just back and forth motions. And then I'm gonna kind of blend that edge out that's on top, because I don't want any harsh lines there. The next shade I'm going to go into is Gravity Hill, and I'm going right into the crease with that. Kind of doing the same thing, but I'm going into the crease to deepen it up. Then I'm going to take the shade Trip, and I'm going in with the E25, and I'm just going to press that onto the lid. All the way up to the crease. I'm going to take this E30 brush. It's like a kind of like an eyeliner brush. Lately here I've been adding like a winged liner to my eyelids because I love the way it pulls up my eyes. So I'm going to go ahead and use this brush and use a powder shadow to actually do that. So I'm going in with Fickle Fate, and I'm just going to draw a line here and then kind of bring it in. Nothing too drastic. Basically what I'm gonna do is just kind of come in just the middle part. I'm not gonna go all the way to the inner corner. Okay, so I had to go off camera really quickly because I was having trouble with this eye. So I tried to match them as close as possible. So let's go ahead and move on. I am gonna take that brush where I applied powder to the primer, and I'm just going to blend that edge out again. So for primer today, I'm going in with the e.l.f. Matte Putty Primer and also the Wet n Wild Primer Serum. These two primers are really good. I love the matte one for the center of my face. And then with the Wet n Wild is a really good one. It's very hydrating on the skin. It also has a slight tackiness to it, which helps the foundation adhere to the skin a lot better. So for foundation today, I'm gonna go in with the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. I just recently posted my top 5 foundations from the drugstore, and this was actually one of them. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix a little bit of 480 and 500. I'm using my e.l.f. Marshmallow Sponge to actually press this in the skin. I love this sponge. It was actually part of my November favorites. Going in with this e.l.f. Flawless Brightening Concealer. I recently purchased this concealer with some products that I'm about to show you. But this is more of like a pen-like concealer. I have tried it out, so that's why you see where it's been used. You actually click it, and then the product comes out. and it is a very liquidy product. So you can actually see the consistency there. So I'm gonna use this to actually like cover up a little bit of my hyperpigmentation. It is a darker shade. I thought I got a light shade, but I didn't. So this is what I'm gonna use today to kind of darken up those areas. This does have a slight peach undertone to it, so it might help cover up some of the hyperpigmentation. But I'm just going to press this in the skin. It is very light on the skin. It didn't really cover anything up. It's a very light coverage concealer, so this probably is not going to work for me today. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my Tarte Shape Tape and go over that concealer because it didn't do much. I think this would have been a good brightening type of concealer for my under eyes if it was in the right shade. Like I said, I thought I picked a lighter shade, but I guess I didn't. For concealer, I'm gonna go in with my Instant Age Rewind Concealer by Maybelline. This is in the shade Medium. I'm going to just place that right there where I need some brightening, on the top of the forehead, above the lip, and on the chin. I do want to put a little bit right here by my nose. I don't know why my nose is, it looks like I have a little redness there. So, okay, I'm going to powder my face. I'm going to powder my skin. I'm using the number 7 Lift and Illuminate Triple Action Finishing Powder in medium. I'm going to go in with the Colourpop F28 brush. It's a nice fluffy powder brush. You could actually also use it for bronzer, but today I'm going to use it for powder. I'm just going to press that. Now this powder is not a drugstore powder, but I really have been loving this for my under eyes, so I'm going to use it today, and it's the Oversized Powder by Patrick Starr. Love this powder for my under eyes. You only need a little bit because a little bit goes a long way. If you put too much, it'll look very drying under the eyes, so just go in light-handed. And I do like to bring it down my nose. And oh, and I'm using the Colourpop F32 brush. This really blurs everything. So this product is not new to me, but this shade is new to me, and it's the Instant Age Rewind Eraser Concealer. I just used the medium shade for my under eyes. This is in the shade Tan. So what I want to do with this is actually use it for contouring. I saw someone, I think it's Noriana, I saw her use it on her channel, and I thought it was such a great idea to buy a darker shade in this because this is one of my favorite concealers from the drugstore. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this on my skin like a contour. So I'm just going to come right here. Right here. I'm going to put some dots here, here. And I'm not going to do my chin because I have a white turtleneck on and I don't want to get it dirty. And then I'm going to take my sponge and I'm just going to press that into the skin. I love this shade too. It's a very nice bronzy shade. It's not too warm. It's just a perfect shade. All right, that looks really good. So for bronzer, I'm using the Suntan Silky Matte Bronzer by Milani. I love this bronzer. I think it's the perfect shade of bronziness for my skin. So I wanted to use one of these brushes. One of them's really soft and the other one's a little more dense, like for blush. I think I might go in with this really soft one. This is the F30. Just gonna go ahead and bronze my skin on top of that cream bronzer. This bronzer went on so well on top of that Maybelline concealer. I think it looks really beautiful on top of it. So I did purchase a few of the e.l.f. Putty blushes. I have quite a few shades here. So I do want to go in with 2 of them today, and they are the e.l.f. Putty Blush in Tahiti and Bora. I want to go ahead and do more of like a mauve-y pinky tone blush look today. So I'm going to go ahead and use this one first. This is Tahiti. So this is the packaging, and here is the cream blush. This is actually Tahiti, but isn't that a beautiful shade? Now I heard some really good things about these blushes, guys, so I'm super excited to try them today. And this one right here is Bora. It's more of like a pinky tone shade. I am going to use this brush by Colourpop. It's the F29 brush. And I'm going to go into Tahiti first. I'm going to place Tahiti here, and then I'm going to go into Bora. I'm going to place it on here, and then I'm going to mix the two so it'll look even. But let's go ahead and try the blush first. And I'm just putting my brush into the product, getting a little bit of product out. Now I'm putting my brush in there pretty fiercely. There's not a lot of pigment that's coming off on the brush initially, which is okay because sometimes you don't want it to come off too strong. Oh yeah, that's pretty. It's not picking up product, which means that it's not moving around like my foundation or my bronzer. It looks really, really beautiful on the skin. Okay, so now we're gonna go in with Bora on this side. I am gonna use the other side of the brush, the clean side. I'm really having to work to get the product out. Okay, so now I'm just going to press that into the skin. This would be beautiful like in the summer. I mean, it would be beautiful in the winter too, because it's like a flush of pink. All right, so here is Bora and here is Tahiti, and I think both of them are just beautiful on the skin. They didn't move any of my foundation, which is nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply Tahiti here and Bora here to actually blend everything together. So what I wanna do is kind of tone it down a little bit because I did put quite a bit on, and I'm just gonna take my sponge and just kind of press the product in, kind of tone down the blush. I'm gonna go over this blush with some powder to kind of set it. So I'm gonna do my eyebrows off camera. I'm using the e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil, and then I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Wow Brow. They're both in dark brown. I'm gonna go ahead and do this off camera, and then I'll be right back and we'll finish up. Okay guys, brows are done. I am gonna go in with this new e.l.f. Pro Eyelash Curler. I saw this and I really wanted to try it. They do have another eyelash curler that looks a little bit more flimsy, but this one really looked like heavy duty. And I know that recently I found my favorite eyelash curler. It's the Shiseido one, but I really did want to try something more affordable. So as you can see here, it has like these little rubber handles, and then it comes with an extra like band. I'm gonna go ahead and curl my lashes, see how it works. There's like a little squeaky noise. I don't know what that's about. I honestly did not know what to expect of this, but it seems like it's working pretty well. It gripped the eyelashes really well. It's curling them really nicely. So far, so good on that. All right, so now let's get into mascara. I'm trying the Essence Lash Princess mascara for the first time. I don't think I've ever tried this. I know I've tried some mascaras from Essence, but I don't think I've tried the real popular one. And now that I have like a little bit of lashes, it's nice to be able to try out different mascaras. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply this to my lashes. Oh wow, it is really good. Oh man, it's like elongating my lashes. I can't believe how good this is. It's so good. Now I know what the hype's all about. That's like one coat. That did a really good job. I'm gonna go ahead and let this dry and put on another coat. Okay, so this is 2 coats of mascara. I'm gonna leave it like that and then finish off the eyes. We're gonna go back into the Stone Cold Fox palette. I'm taking this E27 brush. I'm gonna go ahead and go into Quarry Days. That's the first shade that I went into in the crease or above the crease. I'm gonna go ahead and take the eyeliner brush. I'm gonna go back into Fickle Fate, and I'm just going to kind of connect that edge there. Bring it in just on the outer corner. I'm not going all the way through. I am gonna put on the Kiss Pompadour lashes. They look like this, but I'm not gonna use the whole lash. I kind of just wanna use like half the lash, kind of have that flare out at the end. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut these. All right guys, so I added my lashes, and like I said, I didn't use the whole lash. I kind of just cut off like 3 little pieces on the inner corner and then left the flare part out, and then added it just to the ends to kind of flare out and lift my eye. So really love the way this came out. You could actually wear this like on an everyday basis because they're not like super glam and they don't look too toned down. It just makes the eyes look really fresh and put together. So really love the way this turned out. So for lips, I'm gonna go in with the Essence Stay 8 Hour Matte Liquid Lipstick. This is what they look like. I do have two different shades here. I have I Dare You and Down to Earth. I think what I'm gonna do is do Down to Earth. Let me see. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is do Down to Earth. I think this one is gonna be way too, I don't know, I think this one's gonna be way too dark. We'll open them up and we'll see which one I'm gonna use. But I am gonna go in with just like a basic lip liner. I am gonna go in with a really soft neutral lip liner. This one is by Juvia's Place. This is in Sweet Nothing. So let me go ahead and do that really quickly. All right, so let me see what this shade looks like before we go in with it. That's a pretty shade. It's like it's more like a corally peach shade. This one right here is the Down to Earth shade. And then the I Dare You shade is, I know is gonna be a little bit more, yeah, it's gonna be way more red. A beautiful, beautiful red. But that's the I Dare You and the Down to Earth. I don't know, I think I'm gonna go in with the Down to Earth. I think I was already set on that. Okay, so I'm just gonna go over. Very liquidy. The consistency is like it's very liquidy at first, and then I could feel that it's starting to dry down. It doesn't feel like sticky. It's not slipping or anything. It doesn't feel like bad or drying on the lips. And I really do like this shade. I think this is a really pretty shade for this eye look. All right guys, so that is it for this look. So let's go ahead and go over these products really quickly. So let's talk about these blushes. I do feel like the blushes have really good pigmentation. I felt like I had to work a little hard with that brush. So I'm thinking that I might have to get a more dense synthetic brush to actually pick up the product, because with that brush, it was not as dense as I wanted it to be, but I still wanted to try it and use it because those are new brushes and I wanted to try them out. But I really feel like this would go on better with like a more dense brush. I will say that on this side, I was pressing in that Tahiti shade to go with the Bora. And at one point I'm like moving the brush around, which is a bad idea because when I did that, it did pick up product. So when you go in with these, you have to do like a pressing motion. You can use your sponge or you can use a brush. I just feel more comfortable with a brush when it comes to cream products. So these are really good. I do love them. I can't wait to use the other shades that I got for you guys. I will be trying these on in other videos and letting you know how the other shades worked out. But yeah, the blushes are really good. And then for this e.l.f. Flawless Brightening Concealer, I feel like if I would have gotten a lighter shade, I would have liked the brightening effect of it. I don't feel like this has a lot of coverage, so it's not like a full coverage concealer that I would be more prone to buying. So yeah, if I would have gotten a lighter shade, I think it would have helped to brighten the area up, but I think I would only use it for that. And because of that, I'm not gonna purchase a lighter one. I just feel like with concealer, I can achieve the same effect. And as far as this palette, the Stone Cold Fox palette has so much to choose from in here. I think the shades came out beautifully on the eye. I usually don't have any trouble with Colourpop shadows. They just blend really nicely and they really do have good pigmentation when it comes to the shades. So I really do love this Stone Cold Fox palette, and I know I'm going to be using it a lot more because these are the shades that I've been gravitating towards, the cool neutral tone shades. So this is definitely a yes for me. And for the Essence Lash Princess, this is definitely a yes for me. I love the way this mascara went on my lashes. It made my lashes very long. Now it's not super volumizing, but it did lengthen my lashes, and I love that. I love that my lashes looked way longer than they really are. So yeah, this is a really good buy for the price. I'm so glad I got to try it today, and I love the way it made my lashes look. And speaking of lashes, this lash curler, guys, this is a good lash curler for a drugstore lash curler, and for the price, this was not expensive at all, and it really does a good job of grabbing onto those lashes. It doesn't pinch my eyelids. It just does a really good job for the price. So if you're looking for a new eyelash curler, you want something a little bit more affordable but that's gonna work, this is definitely the route to go. So for the brushes, these brushes are really, really good, guys. I had no issues with any of the brushes. Other than that brush that I use for the cream blush, I feel like this is more of like a powder blush brush. It's not as dense as I thought it would be, but it is super, super soft. All of these are, and they apply shadow and face products so nicely. So I'm looking forward to using these a lot more. And then for the matte lipstick by Essence, I have been talking all this time and I really feel like it doesn't feel like it's sitting on top of my lips. You know, like when you're wearing a liquid matte lipstick and it feels like it's sitting on top and it feels like it's drying your lips. This does not do that. It's very, very comfortable on the lips, which I'm really surprised because I wasn't sure when I felt how it went on. It says it's an 8-hour matte liquid lipstick. So I'm gonna be putting this through the test when I go to work. Of course, I wear a mask, but the masks that I have right now, they really don't touch my lips. I got them at Costco. They kind of go like around my mouth. So I am gonna wear this just to see if it comes off on the mask and see how long it lasts. So I will be putting this through the test soon. And for the last thing, like I said, this is not a new product to me. I do love the formulation of this, but today I use it as a contour product and it's the Instant Age Rewind Concealer in Tan. I love this for bronzing my skin. And the shade of this is perfect for me. So yeah, I'm gonna be using this a lot more often. So yeah, guys, that is it for my first impressions. Thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you guys are safe. Have a great week and we will see you on the next one. Bye.